Revivalists, how's it going? It's Simon here from CD Revival once again, and today I'm going to do a top 10 ranking of the albums by Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper, super influential singer, songwriter, been around since the early 70s, well late 60s actually, and has done a bunch of albums. So he's done 28 studio albums in total, including their solo albums and with the Alice Cooper band to begin with, 7 with them, and I've got 18 of the 28, so I'm not going to rank them all, because A, I haven't got them all, B, some of them are just awful, to be honest with you. The first 2 albums are awful. The Blackout Period looked pretty much bad, so I'm going to show you what I've got. But first of all, I'm going to rank my top 10 from 10 down to 1, so like from my least favourite to favourite. And then I'll show you what else I've got that didn't quite make it into the top 10, and maybe explain a couple of albums that I don't have that might have scraped into the top 10. We don't know, but anyway. So I'm going to start off with the number 10, which is 1989's Trash, and it's his 18th studio album in total, and I really liked this when it first came out. It's super commercial. Obviously Desmond Child produced it, has a hand in pretty much all of the songwriting. There's a bunch of special guests on here like Jon Bon Jovi, etc. Poison's the famous track, obviously. Big single back in the day. House of Fire's a good one. Only My Heart Talking's got Steven Tyler from Aerosmith on it. Bed and Nails, probably the best song on here. Trash, the title track, was got Jon Bon Jovi on there. It's very commercial, very of the time, say 1989, so it definitely sounds like it is from there. But yeah, he's gone all out with the special guests on this one, and it's not really the best album by him, to be honest with you. It's okay, it does scrape just about into my top 10, but some of it's super cheesy. The last track, I'm Your Guns, just like mega cheese. But yeah, listenable and decent, so that's the way it comes in at my number 10, 1989's Trash. Number 9, I have got 2008's Along Came a Spider. It's his 25th overall studio album, and yeah, it's got the gatefold edition here, bits and pieces. This one is a good hard rocking album. It's not stunning, but it's pretty consistent all the way through, pretty decent all the way through. 2008. Key tracks are Vengeance Is Mine, that features Slash on it. It's got Wake the Dead on it with Ozzy. Wrapped in Silk's another good track as well. It's a bit of a concept on this one as well. It's about a serial killer that traps his victims, wraps them in silk, cuts one of their legs off in order to make some sort of human spider. So Alice style fare, but yeah, a good hard rocking album. Doesn't get the best reviews, but I think it's pretty decent. Definitely in my top 10. Number 9, Along Came a Spider from 2008. Next one at number 8, I have got this one here, Dirty Diamonds from 2005, 24th overall studio album. Gone back to basics a bit on this one and the one before it, which was The Eyes of Alice Cooper. Bit more of a traditional sound, bit more garagey, bit more sort of punky almost, but good album. So from 2005, 24th album. Women of Mass Distraction, good track. You Make Me Wanna is a really good one. The title track's a good one. Saga of Jesse Jane is also really good. Steal That Car's not bad. But yeah, not a bad one from Alice. Say later in his career, so he's gone back to a bit more of what he was originally like. But yeah, Dirty Diamonds, number 8, 2005. Number 7, I have gone for Last Temptation. That's from 1994, 20th overall studio album. This one's got a bit more of a traditional sound as well. This one came after like the sort of the glam era albums. And this one, let's say, he's gone back to more of a traditional, like 70s almost sound with a lot of it. Sideshow, the start off one, is like a 6-minute track, and that's very reminiscent, I think, of his classic period. Lost in America was the single, that's really good. We've got You're My Temptation, which I think is the best track on the album as well. But yeah, solid album. Once again, some people don't review it particularly well, but I think it's a really good album. Like, start to finish is pretty consistent, pretty good. No bad tracks on it, which some of the Alice albums have got bad tracks on them, but this one's quite solid. Number 7, 1994's Lost Temptation. Number 6, I've gone for Constrictor, which was his comeback album in the 80s. 1986 this one came out. This was actually, I was 14 at the time, so this was my introduction to Alice Cooper, really. Teenage Frankenstein is the start track, and that's one of his best tracks. I'd say that's in my top 10 Alice Cooper tracks. It's got some other good ones. Life and Death of the Party, Simple Disobedience is good. The World Needs Guts, I think he dusted off fairly recently on his tour, so that's the good one. And it's got the single He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask, which was from Friday the 13th, I think part 3 if I remember rightly. Super 80s, quite cheesy, but it's got a charm to it. I do like it quite a lot, actually. Very listenable album. Yeah, Constrictor from 1986, comeback album. He did his Nightmare Returns tour with that as well. If you get to see a video of that, that's really cool. Kane Roberts on guitar with his machine gun guitar, and Kip Winger on bass also. So interesting lineup, but yeah, good album. Number 5, I've gone for Brutal Planet. That's from the year 2000. It's his 21st studio album. This is the deluxe edition. It's got a poster with it and what have you. I'm not going to get that out now. But yeah, this one is quite industrial, very heavy, probably his heaviest album, like completely heaviest album, with some really good stuff on it. There's a Brutally Live DVD as well that goes with this, and that's pretty cool as well. But yeah, good tracks on here. The title track's really good. Blow Me a Kiss is really good. Wicked Young Man. Take It Like a Woman's kind of a ballady, slower one, but that's really cool as well. But yeah, as far as heaviness goes, this is Alice at his heaviest. Like I say, quite brutal, really. Like I say, Brutal Planet. Very good album from 2000, 21st studio album. Number 4, I have gone for Welcome to My Nightmare. And this was his first solo record without the Alice Cooper band, and yeah, it's a good one. It's quite varied. The actual track Welcome to My Nightmare starts it off, and it's quite sort of yeah, when he plays it live it's very different. It's probably better live, to be honest with you. With this one it's kind of a bit sort of I don't know, really showy. Black Widow's a really good track, quite a heavy one. Only Women Bleed is obviously a very famous ballad, really good. Department of Youth, quite famous. I'm not a great fan of that track. Cold Ethel's really good though. Stephen, The Awakening, Escape. Solid album. Bob Ezrin obviously produced, and this is the remastered version, but yeah, classic album. Welcome to My Nightmare, 1975, 8th studio album in total. Number 3, I have gone for this one, which is a lot of people's favourite, and I can understand why. $1 Billion Babies. This is the deluxe edition once again, so it's the 2-disc version, which is quite nice. It's almost like a greatest hits, this one. A lot of really famous tracks on here. Hello Hooray to start off with. Elected, the title track, which is really cool. No More Mr. Nice Guy. Sick Things, which is a really creepy track, and I Love the Dead, which he plays pretty much at every show as well. Bob Ezrin produced once again, so yeah, it's a classic album. You know, it's close to being at the top. Obviously number 3, there's a couple that I do prefer. but 1973's sixth album, Billion Dollar Babies, my number 3. Number 2, I've gone for this underrated album, I think, Raise Your Fist and Yell, from 1987, 17th studio album in total. And this one is just a full-on metal album, really. So if you like metal, if you like Alice Cooper, this is the one for you. The lead-off single, Freedom, I remember that was just like amazing. Really set you up for the album. Give the Radio Back's brilliant. Time to Kill, fantastic. The whole of what was side 2, Prince of Darkness, is superb. Chop Chop Chop, and then that leads to Gale, which is a real creepy track, which is reminiscent of his old days. And Roses on White Lace, which is once again stunning. Step on You's really good. Lock Me Up, every track's a banger on this one. It's good. So 1987, a good old-fashioned 80s metal album. Every song's brilliant. There's probably his most consistent album in total, I would say. I say a lot of people slag it, but I don't know their problem, man. Honestly, it's a really, really good album. Raise Your Fist and Yell. If you've not heard it, check it out. Enjoy it. Pump it up loud. Brilliant album. Number 2. My number 1 album is this one, Killer, from 1971. Their 4th album in total. And yeah, this one's another start to finish like banger. Starts off with Under My Wheels, Be My Lover, Halo of Flies, Desperado's brilliant. You Drive Me Nervous, Yeah Yeah Yeah, Dead Babies, which is a really creepy one, and the title track Killer, which is another really brilliant one. No filler on this one. Apparently John Lydon's favourite heavy metal album. But yeah, Killer from 1971. Pretty much flawless album from Alice. It was quite close between this and Raise Your Fist and Yell, to be honest with you, but this one does take it for me. So yeah, superb album. Superb album at number 1. There's a couple that missed out because I don't have them. Love It to Death possibly would make it into the top 10. It's got some great tracks on there. Ballad of Dwight Fry and I'm 18, which was their first big hit, obviously. And that's a really good one. I don't have that. I will pick it up. And also The Eyes of Alice Cooper, which is a really good one as well. Which don't know if it would get into the top 10, but worth a listen. I also don't have Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. That one, the title track on that is absolutely superb. One of his best tracks, easily in my top 10 Alice Cooper tracks. But the rest of the album is not good at all. I'll show you what else I do have. I've got Muscle of Love. This originally came in like a cardboard box. It's an okay album, to be honest with you, from 1973, 7th studio album. Big Apple Dreaming, start track's probably one of the best ones on there. It's got Man with the Golden Gun on it, which was originally slated to be from the movie of the same name, the James Bond film, but they didn't use it in the end, but it is on here, so that's quite interesting. Teenage Lament is, a famous track, but not, I don't think, particularly good. Muscle of Love, the title track, once again, is probably one of the better ones on here, but definitely not my favourite album. School's Out from 1972, 5th studio album in total. Obviously the title track, mega famous. The rest of the album, yeah, not so good really. It's quite Broadway, Street Fight, Alma Mater, Public Animal Number 9 is missable, to be honest with you. Definitely not a very good one. I've got Detroit Stories, which is his most recent album from 2021, so 28th studio album in total. This one's not bad. I've not listened to it, obviously it's his newest one, so I've listened to it a few times. There's a few tracks that are quite decent. It's alright. Rock and Roll, Go Man Go, $1,000 High Heel Shoes, Hail Mary. It's okay. It's not a bad album. Bob Ezrin back on production duties on that one, so it's worth a listen, to be honest with you. I've got Dragon Town from 2001, 22nd studio album in total. This is the follow-on from Brutal Planet. Definitely not as heavy, although there are heavy tracks on here. The title track, the opener Trigger Man's not fantastic. Sister Sarah's not bad. Deeper's good. The Sentinel is a good one. Disgraced Land is kind of quite comical, sort of channels his inner Elvis, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it's alright. It's not as good as Brutal Planet. It's, you know, it's neither here nor there with this one. It's a bit kind of between Brutal Planet and some of the stuff from like the Ice of Alice Cooper and stuff. So, but yeah, worth having, worth listening, not bad. From the Inside from 1978, 11th studio album in total. This is the one that he wrote when he came out of like basically the asylum. He was in there for a while and wrote about it. An interesting album, very 70s. He co-wrote it with what's his name, Bernie Taupin, and there's a couple of other like guys that were in Elton John's band as well. So it does really sound like that late 70s, almost Elton John sound. Lyrically, it's pretty cool because it's, you know, speaking about the people that he met inside. Wish I Was Born in Beverly Hills, that's a good one. The Quiet Room's a good one. Nurse Rosetta, not particularly heavy, and very, yeah, just very 70s, very almost Elton-y. So, but it's not a bad album, but it's not, definitely not fantastic. Hey Stupid I've got from 1991. That's his 19th album. A bunch of like guests on this one as well. Slash is on it, Ozzy's on it, Vinnie Moore, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Nikki Sixx, Mick Mars. So yeah, you know, kind of got everyone in. Feed My Frankenstein's obviously the famous one on here, which is a decent track. Dangerous Tonight I really like as well. Wind Up Toy, the last track, that's pretty cool. The title track's decent. Loves the Loaded Gun. So it's alright, it's not quite as good as Trash, although Trash is not amazing either, but yeah, pretty much follows on from that really. With the songwriting not quite as good. And the last two I've got Paranormal from 2017. It's got Billy Gibbons on here, Roger Glover as well, and a few other guests. It's a bit of a meh album, it's alright. 27th album overall. It's got Rats is quite good. Ezrin's obviously producing it once again. Private Public Breakdown's quite decent, and Paranoid Personality is quite good as well. The title track's quite good. It's, yeah, it's a quite good album. It's nothing amazing. It's certainly not bad. It's very listenable, but you know, it's okay. And the last one I've got is Welcome to My Nightmare from 2011. It's his 26th studio album overall, and this one is kind of hit or miss. Bob Ezrin produces once again, so it does sound great. Caffeine's a good track. The Congregation's really good. That's got Rob Zombie on it, but it has got some awful tracks on it. Disco Bloodbath Boogie Fever is terrible, although he kind of raps on it, and it is quite funny because it does remind me of like the Jay and Silent Bob rap with the, you know, yeah, that is 20 little man, put that shit in my hand kind of thing. It's pretty much that. And What Baby Wants has got Kesha doing the vocals as well, and that's just pure pop cheese, man. It's just cringeworthy, to be honest. But sounds great. It's well produced, but it's, yeah, very hit or miss. There's some good stuff and there's some atrocious stuff on there. So that is that, and that's pretty much it for my Alice Cooper CD collection. Let me know if you agree with my top 10 ranking. You know, everyone's got their own opinions of Alice and what they like from him, because he obviously has got a very varied discography. Obviously I don't have the first two albums, Pretty's For You and Easy Action. They're known to be terrible. Obviously they're recorded in the late 60s. I think Frank Zappa, who I have got a lot of time for, I do like Frank Zappa, but so they're pretty out there and not good. And the, say, the blackout period with things like Flush the Fashion, Zipper Catches Skin, Dada. I haven't got any of those, and yeah, I don't think they'd be anywhere near the top 10. So if you like them, let me know. That's pretty much it, really. So thanks very much for watching. Keep buying CDs. Like and subscribe to my channel, please. And I will catch you next time for another CD collection video. Take it steady. Cheers.